Hello, everyone. This is Kimmy Wyatt. You guys, I told you guys I would be posting pictures of how I have to sleep, videos of how I have to sleep. You guys, this looks like some shit, excuse my language, up under a bridge. No offense to anyone homeless, but that's what this shit looks like, okay? This is how I'm having to sleep. And I'm doing this video. I said I was going to show you guys how I have to sleep. I mean, this is just one of the almost 100 different types of, I don't know what you want to call it, makeshift places I've had to sleep. But I'm doing this video as an escalated video because let me turn this music down. Hold on. Just 1 second. Okay. Saturday, went to the pool area Saturday. I always go to the pool area to get online and to get away from my apartment because of the cameras. And this guy walks up to, he's in the pool area. I'm not in the pool area. I'm in the area right behind the office, sitting down. I literally live there. I'm there all the time. And this dude, new maintenance guy, Hispanic, Guatemalan, Salvadoran, whatever he is. He was approached by, he's on the outside of the pool, and he's approached by a dude, a Black African dude. I heard this voice, but I hadn't seen the person yet, but he was obviously approaching the maintenance dude. And the maintenance guy, he asked the maintenance guy, he said, "Excuse me, can I ask you a question?" The maintenance guy responded with yes. He said, do you reside here? Or you're a resident here? That's what he said. And he said, no. He said, well, how is it that your whole family can get in the pool? Or something to that nature. Normal question, did not get loud, was not rambunctious or anything. And so I'm hearing and seeing the entire thing. I just didn't hear initially who the voice was because he was the columns that hold up the building or that area, are pretty, they're about a foot and a half. So I didn't see who this person was until he got a little closer. And so it pissed the maintenance guy off because, they have this machoism thing. They don't want you asking them any questions. They feel like women are beneath them, that whole thing. And so you could tell he got mad. He said, well, I work here. He said, it doesn't matter. The guy did. He said, you're not a resident or something. So he was really getting on him, but in a nice way. Just wondering because he said it wasn't fair that we supposedly could only have one guest in the pool or something, but he can have his whole family in the pool or something just because he works for the company. And he's not even a resident. So I got it. And so maintenance started asking him what apartment does he live in or building. And he told him, he said, well, first thing he said was take it up with management. Now, he already knows you take it up with management, they're not going to do a damn thing because they got management wrapped around their finger. So he already knew that was not going to go, that was going to go in his favor. So, but that wasn't good enough. He went in the building and came back outside. He was like, what's your apartment number? But he actually asked him this question before he went in the building. And then he came back outside again. What's your apartment number? He said, dude, I don't have to tell you. The first time he said, I don't have to tell you my building or apartment number, whatever the question was. And so I'm like, yes, because I know for a fact maintenance will lie on you. Maintenance have lied on me. The original maintenance, well, not the original guy. This same guy came to my apartment when the fire department came to my apartment because of the device that's on the wall, which is people are wondering what someone asked me the other day. What is that on the wall? It doesn't seem like you have one. I say, yeah, I have one. I almost got a $2,000 ticket because maintenance lied on me and said when he came in my apartment, it was dismantled or off the wall. If it was dismantled, why did you have to go get a screwdriver to open it up? Repulsive liar. They just lie on residents. I'm not the only one. They lied on security, for which we no longer have security anymore. So what happened with that was, so I'm sitting there listening to this entire thing. And so next thing I know, within 5 minutes, the police, 3 police officers, for which when they got through with talking to this dude, he did not go to jail. He did not get arrested. But the head maintenance guy, Hispanic, also came out. And he said, well, he said that you said, and that's when I joined in and said, were you out here? But I never got up or anything. I was still sitting down because how are you going to co-sign with someone and you weren't even out here listening to what he was saying? And so that pissed him off. Now, this particular maintenance guy, the head maintenance guy, has lied and told management, amongst other things, that I was videoing him. He lied, and he lied on the security. Like I said, I'm talking to this dude, the dude that he lied on. So this is not hearsay. He's just a repulsive liar, both of them. So I go into the computer room yesterday, it's Monday, and sitting down to get away because I have no privacy whatsoever, you guys. And the manager opens the door and she kicks the kickstand up, the stand that keeps the door open. I'm not thinking straight, but she kicks the door jammer up. And I asked her, I didn't know what she was doing. I said, can I keep the door closed? Because I didn't know if she was kicking it up because she wanted it open. But so I requested and asked, could I keep the door closed? But I didn't have any clue what was going to occur, the events that were going to occur after that. I was asked, she said, yeah, but I need to talk to you. I said, oh, okay. Now, I already knew when she said that it was because of the incident Saturday. So she proceeded to ask me what happened, which she should have. And I told her what happened. I said, I saw the whole thing. I said, this, that, and the other. The guy just asked him, could he ask him a question? He responded with yes. He said, are you a resident? He said, no. He said, well, how is it that your entire family can get in a pool? He never got loud. He never, did anything out of the ordinary. This guy was pissed off just because he asked him that question. He also said, when he asked him for his apartment number, I forgot. He said, you're not running anything at some point. And oh my God, you do not tell some Hispanics they are not running anything. And this is not trying to be prejudiced. It is because they'll get pissed off because they think they're running stuff. I am not saying this just to be prejudiced. I am saying it out of experience. Okay. And as well as stories from other people. When you give them a position, they take it to a whole different level and take it to a heightened level, feeling like they could do whatever they want, proof in the pudding. Okay. So the police came out. Matter of fact, one of the police winked at me on his way back in because I know these police officers. One of the female, it was 3, 2 males, 1 female. The female smiled at me. And so did the other one. And he winked at me because I know them very well. They've been out to my apartment several times. And so, I just smiled back at them and they walked back in and they were gone. But one of them, the one that I didn't know, I wasn't familiar with, he's probably been out here, but I just wasn't familiar with him. He said, but he's a resident. He's talking to me. I said, well, I really don't have anything to do with that part. I mean, if they let him in, they let him in. He was like, oh, okay. I said, it's just the fact that he called the police that we're all like, cause there were witnesses. We're all upset about. It wasn't even an issue to call the police, wasting y'all's time. And that's what I basically said. And so he went on and went over there with the other police officers. That was it. Well, when I get questioned, after I tell what happened, well, the police are coming and I'm sure it's going to be a totally different story than what you said. But I also was told that I got in someone's face. One of the maintenance dudes lied, another lie, and said that I got in his face. Excuse me, dude. And then it's funny. I got put out of the computer room for no reason. I was like, what? Because you're not going to sit up there and tell me I did something that I didn't do. And when I came out, I noticed these 2 maintenance dudes, you guys, ussies. Okay. You put the other letter on there. It's total ussies. They were in the kitchen area. They have a kitchen area where it's more than a kitchen area. It's like a kitchen with a sitting area as well. They were standing there listening to the whole conversation the whole time. And so she basically put me out because she told me to get my things and leave. which meant I could come back, but then she ended it with don't come back. Baby, let me tell you something. This is not the only place there are computers. I don't understand why people do things, and first of all, you shouldn't have been putting me out anyway, because I'm telling you that I did not do anything. Okay. I didn't get in anyone's face. I didn't even get up out of my chair, or the chair I was sitting in. I see how I call it my chair, because I'm out there all the time. And so what ended up happening is I left. And I came back. I was like, wow. So I didn't even care about that, because I'm like, I can sit outside, no problem, because I'm used to sitting outside. So when I came back, she had already told me the police were coming during that conversation. So I came back asking, when was the police coming? Because I knew, like I said, I knew I hadn't done anything, and I knew these police would not sit up there and lie on me and say this and that and other. So I called the police myself. I talked to this young lady. She lives on the premises. Very sweet lady. She's very familiar with me. She's smiling. And I was like, what? And she said, no. She said, well, if he's a resident, if he works here, he has a right to. I said, that was never my issue. I'm like, why are you calling the police? This wasn't even an issue for the police, And so I said, well, okay. So she went her way. I said, all I'm asking you to do is write it up. She said, okay, well, I can write it. I can write this up. So she left. And so I went back in. That's when I went back in and asked, not right then, but I came home, if I'm not mistaken, went back up there. I wanted to know when the police were coming, because I had work to do. I was not fixing to sit in my apartment knowing I was not going to do any work here with the hackers and the ignorant $$ ESs I have around me. So I was not fixing to open my laptop and do anything. So what I did was I went back up there, and she had someone in her office. And I beckoned. I looked at her, and I said, okay, like, in other words, okay, I'll wait. I'll sit down. So I sat down, and she got through with that person. She came out. But in the meantime, some people had come through the door. So they won't hear what's going on. She went ahead and handled them really quickly. And so she came to me. I said, yes. I said, do you know when the police are coming? She said, I've already talked to the police. And I'm like, now, mind you, one thing I forgot. After I talked to the police in person, I called the police department to see if any of those officers that came out Saturday were at work yesterday. I was told no, they will not be returning. And, this is a small police department, very small. I was told they would not be returning back to work until Wednesday, which makes sense because this is a Saturday. So I guess they're off for 2 days, and they probably work Sunday, or probably work Sunday. And so they wouldn't be back to Wednesday, which makes sense. I was like, okay. And she said, well, what you could do, you can come down here and do this, that, and other. I was like, okay. So in the office, after these two people left that she took care of, I got hit like with 2 more lies. Was it 2 or 3? I was like, she said, well, really, you weren't supposed to be in the computer room anyway. And I was like, huh? She said, didn't you get put out of the computer room for being in there watching porn? I almost fell back, y'all. I almost fell back onto the couch. I said, excuse me? I said, ma'am, I'm 49. What do I look like with this camera right here? Or these cameras in here watching me and I'm in here watching porn? Are you serious? So now, not only did I get up in one of the maintenance men's face, and I'm so glad corporate is on my website, on this site. Thank you very much. Not only did I get up in the maintenance man's face, y'all. Now I wasn't even supposed to be in there because I was in there watching porn and got put out of the computer room. When did that happen? And was that out of body experience or someone? Why the hell would I be in the damn? I guess it's about 15 computers in there. If that, why would I be in there with a big ass camera? Excuse my language. I just got to tell like it is. $, $. I'm sorry. Why would I be in there with a camera looking right at me and I'm watching porn on a big monitor? These are not the smallest monitors. They're not the biggest monitors, but you know what I'm saying. They're about 23 inches. Why would I be doing that? Knowing that both windows are up. Someone can come in and see me. Not only that, the door has glass in it. So when you guys pass by or anyone pass by, they can see me watching porn. Are you serious? You need to come up with something else. So I said, no. She said, you went in there watching porn? I said, in there watching. No. And I said it just like that. So I guess she believed that one. So I went out the door and the police, as I was walking away, I saw the police come up. I'm thinking this is the police that was supposed to be coming up to talk to me. So I waited. I was trying to get the police attention. It was a single person. I wear glasses, didn't have them on, so I couldn't tell who it was. So I waited right there for the police to come out. And so I walked hurriedly when I saw the police coming out, because they were walking their normal walk pretty fast to go back to their vehicle. So I hurriedly walked up, noticed it was the same female that I talked to that lives on the premises. And I told her, I said, something. I said, were you here for me? She said, no, I don't think so. Like, I know that wasn't you that they were talking about. And that this is really how she was, because I know this young lady. I mean, I just as sweet as she want to be. So I know her. So she's like, no, I don't think so. Like, I know they not talking about you, or she's not talking about you. I don't know what occurred in there though. She said no, and I said, well, I tell you what, I said, as it stands now, I wasn't even supposed to be in the computer room, because I was in there, got put out for watching porn. And she got this look on her face, because I'm gonna tell you something. When people know you and they know your character, they already. And she can't say much because she's a police officer, so she had to be neutral. But she's looking like, huh? But in a subtle way. And I was like, oh yeah, I was supposed to be in there watching porn and got put out of the computer room. When did that happen? I said, I tell you what. I said, just pray for me. I said, that's all I'm asking. And although she, some people you just look at and tell, okay, I heard you, what you're saying. And so I was walking off, and just as I was walking off from talking to her, I took about 2 or 3 steps. The manager came outside, because I guess she noticed that we were talking, or maybe she got word, because the maintenance guy just kept coming up there messy for some reason, the new one. And then this is the third, is it the third or fourth lie? I lost count. Did you guys keep count? Then I hear, Miss Wyatt, I said, yes, ma'am. She said, don't be following people around. I was like, she said, don't be something about following people around the premises or something. I said, and once again, excuse me. I'll say excuse me, because I'm trying to make sure there's clarification that, what are you saying? So I said, excuse me. She said, I said, don't be following people around. I said, following who? So the police is hearing me like, okay, then she said, all I'm saying is don't be following people around, the residents. And then she said, and my employees. I said, following who around? I said, is this another lie? I said, but before I left out the office, I did ask her, I said, are there any more lies that you have to tell me before I leave out of here that I've done that I didn't do? And so I said it basically again, but a different way. I said, are there any more lies that's going to be told on me before I walk away? Or basically, I just need to know what I've done that I didn't do. So when she clarified following her employees, I was like, are you serious? These rat hole, y'all, let me stop. I mean, I want to say something. I'm going to be nice. But I'm like, but yet the same maintenance dude comes on his little thing. He kept passing by. So he's taunting me, right? So he finally parked, not saying that was his destiny, but he parked in front of my building. I'm on my balcony. So he parked in front of my building and trying to listen to my conversation. So he goes up to the second floor. I'm sure this is where he went, because the second floor is a base apartment where the cameras are, the cameras that watch the women in their apartment in this building. I know who that is. So he had a piece of paper in his hand, like he was going up there. No. I know what he did. And so I opened my door, and it was second floor, So I'm like, okay, he just left from that dude's apartment. That dude. Okay, and I know who this dude is. So you guys, I'm showing you guys today. Fast forward. How I have to sleep, you guys. This is amazing. So I'm gonna go walk over here. I just put this mattress here, okay, because what prompted me to do it, normal, is I'm asleep under here, okay? I don't know if you guys can see that. You can't see under there, but I'm asleep under here. I'll show it to you from this angle, because what's going to happen is you can get an idea. This is my island cell phone, and this is a room divider. Now, if you guys looked at my videos, look at my videos. I showed you guys a video of these room dividers for which I was supposed to be covering them in a DIY project. That was supposed to be covering them where I moved from. As you can see, they're not covered. I have anything that I could possibly get to cover these up to protect myself. So there is blanket. There's a blanket over this one. All of them have blankets over them. Okay. And there's 4 of them all together. But you can see here that this is the end of my island. Here's a wall for the island, the bottom. And I'm up under here, y'all. I am literally up under here. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. So if you can imagine, I just laid this down over my island, and I'm up under here. Crazy stuff. I'm serious. Just to not be seen while I'm asleep, which seems to be turning a whole bunch of people on. Perverts. I got to hurry this up. So what made me go into my bedroom and get this portable mattress, which has become my best friend. I'm telling me, this mattress and I probably would never get rid of it because it has gone through some times with me. This whole ordeal, this particular mattress, which is a twin size mattress, has been really, really like my best friend, seriously, because it has been there. Someone kind of gave a hint that they could put it in their truck. And I was like, I love you, but no, not this one, and I don't keep a lot of things, but I've already made a decision that I would be keeping this mattress because it's going to be sentimental to me for several reasons. Not for the same reason, but several incidences of the same reason. So, well, anyway, let me hurry up. What prompted me to put my little baby here, my mattress, was because every morning, you guys, even this wall over here, you can't see around this corner. Yes, you can. That's my pantry. That door that's open. You see the little crack right there? Okay, that's, let me move over here. That's my pantry door open. Okay, you see it? My pantry door is open. And then this is leaning up against the door because it's all the way open. But down here, okay, by the pantry, down here below my deck decorum, okay, let me move this out of the way so you guys can see. Down here by my decorum, okay, there's the baseboard. Over here, and this is the same wall, it just makes a point and then goes around this way. You hear these idiots in the wall with the camera equipment. I'm so used to this, it's not even, I'm not even shocked at all anymore. Okay. If I sleep here in the hallway, and if this stops, then that's going to be the end. If I sleep here in the hallway, which I've done several times, you guys, okay, I'm going to let it focus. Okay. If I sleep here in the hallway, these are my bags. My head is this way. This is the bathroom. This is the bedroom. I'm going to show you guys my bedroom one day. I'm going to do video. You guys, how about here, the frame, this door frame, this is my washroom, and this door frame at the bottom, guess what? Same noise. You can hear them actually putting this equipment. Where is this equipment coming from? Or better not coming from. How in the hell, excuse my language, is this equipment able to come down to be in my wall? Because they can't see through the walls with this equipment, high tech. You got to be coming from upstairs. I asked Cody or Kobe. He was one of the builders here. He was a superintendent. The question of where would that be coming from? And he said it would have to come from upstairs. I'm gone. Bye.